Yes, now you heard from the PDP governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom State. Let's now speak with the APC governorship candidate, Mr. Akpabio, who joins us live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Thank you so much, Mr. Udofia, for joining us tonight. Give us an understanding of the outcome of today's judgment from the Supreme Court. Maybe that's a good place for us to start.
Thank you, Shil. For starters, it's with a deep sense of humility and responsibility that I welcome the verdict of the Supreme Court affirming me candidate of the All People's Progressive Congress in Akwa Ibom State, our great party. I have always never had a doubt over and about the sanctity of our courts. So I'm proud of the outcome, and I'm certain that the will of the people, the great people of Akwa Ibom State, has come to bear. Who gave me the mandate? So yeah, let's start from there. That's what it is.
Fantastic. Your ambition to wanting to become governor of the state does not leave you alone in the arena. You are up against some heavyweight in the race. Give us an understanding of how do you see yourself in this race, and perhaps what makes you think that you are the best man for the job?
Well, you're just the one telling me now that I'm up and against heavyweights. I am the best. I've been in the private sector for 32 years, commanding up to 2019, 4,000 plus employees. Between 2004 and 2014, I was the vice chairman of Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited. In that period, we did $14.6 billion of turnover in Nigeria. And that was just one of my business interests. I've run a family business that is 50 years old this year, incorporated August 24th, 1973. Today in Desicon, post-COVID, we're about 2,600 employees. I've gracefully retired. My father's still alive. My mother's still alive. He resigned 27 years ago. And so I've taken and I've accounted for the profit and loss of that business for the last 27 years. I have a rich culture of success, a rich culture of delivery. That's the difference between me and the rest. And I'm living my dream, I'm living my vision.
Is that the reason why you are better than the rest?
Absolutely. I have delivered. I'm a man, when we took over the business of Desicon, it was about $100,000 business per annum turnover. When I resigned to join politics in 2021, I'd taken the revenues to about $860 million per annum turnover.
So, I mean, because there are others, I spoke with your counterpart of the PDP earlier, who says that he has a huge record, a profile of working in the private sector, and he's had some governance experience in working in government. But have you had that kind of a mix of experience, private sector, because government, the workings of government and private sector running are two different kind of endeavors altogether. Knowing how to run public service and knowing how to run government is a different kettle of fish altogether.
I agree with you, but predominantly both sectors are about the same, private, public, they all have stakeholders. You have stakeholders in the public, you have stakeholders in the private. I've also been on boards of various government parastatals and government initiatives. In Akwa Ibom State, I was on the board of the Foreign Direct Investment for 7 years. So I'm used to commanding and I'm used to managing men and resources. The difference, like I said, is about public and private, but you're managing men and resources and the various interests.
So why then do you want to be Akwa Ibom governor?
Have you been to Akwa Ibom State in the last couple of years?
Yes, I've been to Akwa Ibom. I've slept in Uyo. I've come to work in Akwa Ibom State before. Yes, so I have.
Thank you. Have you seen the level of mismanagement there?
So you are switching the roles now. I'm supposed to be asking the question. So don't let me indulge you further in answering the question. You are the ones that are supposed to be answering the question. So why do you want to become governor?
Okay. I need to change the fortunes of my people. I need to take Akwa Ibom back to the map, to the world map. Akwa Ibom is the second most indebted state. Akwa Ibom is the third oil producing in Nigeria, but yet the second most indebted. Nothing is going on in Akwa Ibom state. I came out with a mantra saying shared prosperity. There's nothing in Akwa Ibom that leads you to any prosperity. There's not one single road in Akwa Ibom that when you get into your car in point A and going to point B, that will give you hope. And I challenge anybody, forget grandstanding, forget all the big talk. Google's your friend. All of what I'm going to say to you, I'm going to say from a background of active achievement. I'm not preaching anything I've not done before. So when somebody comes and says he can do this, he can, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I have done this and I want to do this. I still remain the largest philanthropist in the history of Akwa Ibom State. And I've done it with my private funds. I've now worked for government in any other capacity other than advisory.
So
nothing is going on in Akwa Ibom State. Absolutely, ExxonMobil is gone. There's nothing. Tomorrow they talk about syringe. They talk about Ibom Air. How many people does Ibom Air employ? How many aircrafts are flying? How many in the air? That's why I want to be governor of Akwa Ibom State.
So you don't think Ibom,
I come from a rich background.
So Mr. Odofia, you don't think Ibom Air is an achievement for the people of Akwa Ibom State?
It's marginal. I don't know what you call achievement. I've been in the aviation industry for at least 13, 14 years. Ibom Air was mooted between myself and Godswill Akpabio in 2007. And so when I tell you with all conviction that I've been in the industry, I know what I'm talking about. I trained the first female pilot in Akwa Ibom State. I've owned the jet for 14 years. I know what it is to keep those aircrafts in the air. Besides refining, aviation industry is the biggest loss-making industry in the world. And the only way you can make it happen, break even, those aircrafts must be in the air. I want somebody to tell me where they are flying to. I want them to show me that they are air-peace. When we talk about Ibom Air, it's just a means of transportation. I don't think it's a means of any kind of prosperity for anybody.
So, should you be governor of Akwa Ibom State today, what would you do to that endeavor?
Of course, I'm going to go public-private partnership. The business of government is not to be running an aeroplane. Running an airline. That's my business. I'm going to focus on millennial goals, sustainable development goals. That's my responsibility as a government. I have no interest in marginal businesses. I will create an enabling environment for businessmen to come and run Ibom Air. That's their business, not my business. My business is to grow my people. That's what we're talking about.
So clarify, you said between you and Senator Godswill Akpabio was the idea of Ibom Air. Are you saying that you were the originator of that concept of Ibom Air?
Absolutely. Please go to CAC. You see Ibom Air was incorporated in 2008. Ibom Air is not today. Yeah.
It was an idea that you muted yourself and Senator Godswill Akpabio, but it was brought to life by Governor Udom Emmanuel. That's right.
Absolutely. It became operational in its time.
So, but was there any investment made into Ibom Air at those times that you muted it?
No, absolutely. For starters, the incorporation was an investment, but at the time, he then went on to train, I think, about 20 Akwa Ibom indigents for air traffic control, in preparation for this. So yes, as a minimum, that was a basic investment at the time. So
with your experience, let me ask you, what do you think is Akwa Ibom people's most, let me make it a bit more friendlier to the ears of the average person in Akwa Ibom State. What would you say is the problem of the average Akwa Ibom man or woman?
Unemployment.
And what rate is that?
And those that were employed in the past.
Okay, at what rate is that? And what are you hoping to do with that predicament should you be governor?
Like I said, I've come from a background of private sector background, construction and enterprise. So by the time I become a governor, which I will be come March 12th or just shortly after, one of the most urgent things, because everything in Akwa Ibom has to be very urgent at this time, is going to be sustainable development goals: clean water, clean health, well-being, education, decent work, economic growth, a ton of things. Today in Akwa Ibom State, like I said earlier on, the level of unemployment is out of this world. And I think the last time I saw it, it was at about 40-something%. We have to correct it. How are we going to correct it? Vibrant, very vibrant economy. How are we going to have a vibrant economy? There are tons and tons of things, tons and tons of projects out there that we could have done. In 2007, I trained 80 Akwa Ibom indigenes. And then in 2008, another 160, in preparation for the Baka Deep Sea Port. And at the time, we were looking that Nigeria was going to build about 13 FPSOs. At the time, the investment was about $2.1 billion. And an average FPSO costs you about $20-30 billion. I did this to train Akwa Ibom indigenes. Fast forward, 16 years after, Ibaka Deep Sea Port has not been actualized. Lagos State started the Lekki Deep Sea Port. And guess what it is? 4 years after they've commissioned and gone. We have to be intentional around all we're talking about. Even agriculture, we're talking of infrastructure here in this instance now. Agriculture is not about going to farm. I'm not talking about farm. We have to create the infrastructure. And when I talk about the infrastructure, it's even down to the roads, such that the woman who is in the hinterland can bring her eggs to the road to go and sell, so that these eggs don't break between the hinterland. So axial roads we're going to develop. We have to create connectivity around the sectors in Akwa Ibom State to generate the kind of development we're talking about. Everything in Akwa Ibom State at this level is going to be very urgent. Very, very urgent.
So there was a contestation, Mr. Odofia, between the NBS, the Nigeria National Bureau of Statistics, and the Akwa Ibom State governor when the unemployment statistics were put above 51%. In reality, in the very first year, to drive down this rate, how many jobs do you think you can generate?
What I'm looking at currently, which primarily is, first of all, human capital development, is that we are looking to create at least a minimum of between 5,000 to 10,000 jobs. How are we going to do that? We have 3 major projects, including making sure, and I guarantee Akwa Ibom indigenes, my name is Ibom Air, I will make sure that Akwa Ibom government will ensure that Ibom Airport will become a truly functional international airport. That alone will connect the rest of the sectors we're talking about, whether you're talking about tourism, medical tourism, or entertainment tourism, you're talking about works, you're talking about agriculture, anything. Just the mere fact that I'm telling Akwa Ibom people today that I'll make Akwa Ibom International Airport and International Airport. And it's about a conversation with the federal government. And I thank God that today the federal government, the indication is, without a doubt, that APC will control the federal government. And so I'm going to connect Akwa Ibom to national politics. And I'm going to make sure that my people in Abuja will understand that I need that international airport. I need to create a linkage around everything we're talking, even including the Ibom Air. That whoever comes to buy or run Ibom Air will see reason to do that because he can evacuate whatever he brings. Akwa Ibom is landlocked. So you cannot distribute anything that comes there.
So, I mean, there's a lot of reliance on government and white-collar jobs. There's a whole lot of reliance in that sector, and it's perhaps one of the main economic drivers in Akwa Ibom State. But immediately you've talked about the issue of the airport and how much of jobs that you can generate. Aquaculture is another area which I dealt with the PDP candidate. That is one heritage that the people of Akwa Ibom State are proud to talk about when they talk about the local economy. How much of that can you turn around? And what is your estimation in terms of the benefit that it will accrue to the Akwa Ibom State coffers?
As per numbers, because these PDP people, they know how to copy. I'm not going to say what the numbers are, but I'm going to say what we're going to do. When you talk about the aquaculture, I heard our PDP candidate says 129 kilometers of waterfront. Actually, it's not 129, it's 149, 20 of which in Ibom has been degraded environmental exploitation, oil and gas exploitation. So we have 129. We're talking of Ibaka, the deep sea port. Today, the deep sea port, we're talking about oil and gas. Me and you know that fossil fuels are a thing of the past. So I'm no more talking about Ibaka as a deep sea port. I'm talking Ibaka as a maritime hub. I'm talking about Ibaka as a logistics hub to service the entire Gulf of Guinea. Now, back to your question, how many jobs will it create? When you land in Ibom Air Airport, there was supposed to be an underground bypass to Oron, which is about a 15, 20 minutes drive from the airport to Oron. Now, Oron, I would say, is the, for want of a better word, the epicenter, the center of the 100 about 20-something kilometers of waterfront. All the tourism, the hotels and the rest, we will relocate from Uyo. There's no need keeping hotels. We need to expand outside Uyo. The environment is already saturated there. We are going into fishing, we're going to agriculture, we're going into fishing, trawlers, trawling and everything. You come to Ibaka today, you see Chinese trawlers everywhere. They never come in, they just take the fish and they go.
Are you going to make it a state-owned?
Government, like again,
are you going to make it a state-owned investment? You will have a fish farming that is state-owned, or what exactly are you planning to do?
My business, like I said, is to create an environment as a government and a governor. Everything we're going to do is public-private partnership. It's not my business to own a fish farm or the rest. If that's my business, then I don't. But to achieve this, to protect the government and my people, we will give local government autonomy. We're going to return local government autonomy to Akwa Ibom State. And we're going to have a working document that will tell you how to work in Akwa Ibom and how not to work. And it's going to be a tripartite document.
All right.
Federal, state government, third party, and local government.
Quickly.
And you know why you want to do that? So that the grassroots, the people that democracy is about, it will get to them. I'm not going to sit down in Uyo and adjudicate over the affairs of people in Eket or Oron or anything. Local government autonomy for growth purposes, development purposes must be institutionalized in the first instance.
Yeah. With over 450 billion naira going to 9 states and the 13% derivation funds just in February this year, just about a few weeks ago or a few days ago this year, how do you hope that you can utilize this money for the benefit of the average person in Akwa Ibom State should you be governor? 13% derivation fund, oil money. How can your people be beneficiary of this kind of funds? And they want to see it in tangible form.
Let's get it straight first. 400 and something, I don't know how much is coming. But I can tell you the debt profile of Akwa Ibom State is about 200 and something. So when you say 400 and something, I think you're misrepresenting it. When they listen
to 9 states. Say, oh, 450 billion went to 9 states, including Akwa Ibom State.
Yes. Now, I agree. You're going to deduct the debt profile of the 9 states, including Akwa Ibom State. So whatever is coming, very likely we'll be looking to service debt. So let's not misinform people. The PDP government in the last how many years are 220 billion as of today, debt profile. So we'll first of all be a responsible government to service that debt. And then we'll start now looking how to correct and how to fix things. One of the easiest things that I see today is environmental. There's so much of environmental degradation, and somebody has got to fix it. A conversation has to be held around fixing the environment. And you know, the greener you are, the wealthier you're going to be going forward. That's where the world order is today. I'm going to seek for partnerships around the world, sourcing funds here and there. The greener I am. So it is very important that we do not depend on this so-called intervention, 400 and something, whatever comes to Akwa Ibom. No. Let's try to protect our environment first. The people that I'm addressing know who I'm talking to. When they came to Akwa Ibom 50, 60 years ago, they saw it in pristine state. This man coming in here is going to protect whatever is Akwa Ibom's.
All right. On a final note.
Whoever has done.
Yeah. So, Ms. Udofia, on a final note, PDP is saying, as Akwa Ibom is saying, as a traditional PDP state. PDP has governed that state perhaps from the inception. Now, APC is perhaps not having a very good run over the last few years in the state. Is at its troubled times internally and externally within the politics of Akwa Ibom state. How do you hope to win that election in that climate, considering what happened in the last election? Where are the figures coming from? Where are the votes coming from for you?
First of all, you have to consider the product. You have to consider the product in APC and the product in PDP. I'm a known content in Akwa Ibom State. Today, PDP has been thoroughly battered. You saw the outcome of our results. Today, you have a deliberate effort by Akwa Ibomites to correct the mismanagement evident in Akwa Ibom in the last 8 years. I don't have to lift a finger. My people are going to vote for me. They saw what happened last weekend. We'll teach them a lesson coming this weekend. PDP is a gone party. I promise you. I'm sending this message to thousands of Nigerians. PDP is finished in Akwa Ibom State. My people deserve way better than what they're getting. Absolutely.
Mr. Akan Udofia, APC governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much indeed for your time, and I wish you the very best in the March 11 post. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Appreciate
God bless Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you.